Hi friends, namaste and welcome. My name is Michelle, if we don't know each other already. This is our weekend flow and a bit of a slow flow this weekend. We've been working with cultivating strength and support to move from there and kind of the freedom of movement that can come from that support and strength. And I want to layer on that a little bit, but in a stretchier way. So a slower flow, a little more stretchy and easeful at the same time, still moving from that place of strength and support. Yeah, so more mobility than flexibility is what we're working with, especially in shoulders and hips where we tend to hold some tension and stress. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be rolling with today. And before we get started, I do want to mention we've got a new series starting next week with a new to the Pulse Fam teacher that I'm really excited about. It'll be on our on-demand library, and it is a yin and restorative and myofascial release series. So the same kind of idea of releasing from a place of support. Yeah. So I'm gonna drop the link down there and I hope that you'll check that out. In the meantime, for today, we're starting as we often do in a seat. So finding your way to a comfortable seat. You can drop your eyes closed or just down low. It's really just a moment to connect, to arrive, and to notice that you're supported. You might feel into where your body is connected to, supported by the earth below. Yield some extra weight downward. You might acknowledge the physical material and foundations and layers of earth beneath you. You might acknowledge the generations that came before, experiences, everything that allows you to be here and now. And feel yourself sort of rise up out of those roots, out of that support, and breathe a little more deeply, a little more fully, filling up all sides and feeling yourself return to center with each exhale. If there's particular intention that's bringing you to the practice, something to cultivate or mull over while we're here, bring that to mind. Settle it into your breath, your body, so that the shapes can be about that. And then we'll take a moment together to amplify intentions, amplify breath between us and within us. The sound of Om together. First, again, find a full, clear breath in. And an easy breath out. And then toward Om, a breath in. Let that resonance stay with you. Let it sort of expand from center with breath toward movement. Yeah, any movement that you need. We are going to be in a seat a tiny bit longer, so if you want to change your seat, even just switch your legs if you need to. Find a couple of shoulder rolls. Just kind of check in, right? Like, what is it to be in this body? What do my shoulders have to say today? And a couple of rolls with your head side to side too. Not forcing anything, just again, checking in. And the next time that your head rolls to the right ear to the shoulder, toward the shoulder, let it pause there. Use the next exhale to really relax this left shoulder. And then begin to reach your left fingertips out to the left. Just kind of out, down low. Feel a breath along this front left side. Keep that. Begin to reach your left arm now up along your left ear. You can catch yourself with your right hand on your thigh or on the earth. Begin to lean a little more to the right, keeping that ease of the tilt in your neck. With an inhale, roll your left ribs back, look up past your left bicep, left elbow. And then as you exhale, cactus this left elbow, look down toward your right hand. And again, inhale, extend your left arm, look up. Exhale, cactus the arm, look down. Once more, look up. Keep the arm here, but look down and then reach a little further across to the right and then forward, a little forward fold over your legs, just for a breath. Fill up at the back of your lungs. Find something to soften. And then walk your hands back in. If your legs are crossed, just switch the cross, yeah, just to give our hips equal treatment. And then let your left ear fall toward your left shoulder. Again, just slow it down. Spend a breath with this right side. Let your right hand sort of crawl out to the right. Easeful as you can be in shoulders and neck, no force here. Keep that ease and space as you begin to reach your right arm along your ear, catching your weight as you lean left and your left hand wherever it needs to be. Use an inhale to roll your right ribs back, look up beyond your right arm. And when you exhale, peel your right arm, cactus your right arm, look down toward your left hand. Inhale, re-extend, look up. Exhale, cactus, look down. Inhale, extend. Keep the length, the extension, but look down. And then extend a little further over to the left and kind of diagonal left and forward. And then forward to fold. Just one full breath in. Full breath out. And making your way from here toward a tabletop shape. So maybe you're just rolling over your feet. Maybe you're sweeping your legs to one side. But find your way there. And as always, if you need or you feel called toward just a little bit of movement in this tabletop shape, find that. Let yourself, again, really root down, depend on the earth to hold you up. But as you press down into it, notice there's also some support, right, coming from the space underneath you, holding you up. Find some length along your spine. Draw back through your tail, forward through your crown. Begin to lift through your tail, lift through the back of your skull toward a cow spine. As you exhale, press into the earth, round. Lift your belly, tuck your chin. Again, inhale toward a cow spine. Maybe pull your hips back toward your heels. And exhale toward a cat spine. You might shift yourself forward, shoulders just beyond your wrists. And one more like that, a cow spine, drop back. And cat spine, drop forward. Come back through that neutral spine, a nice long spine. And just a little scapular push-up, a little work here to first soften your heart down, kind of hollowing out the space between your shoulder blades, and feel what that is. Yeah. And then press down into your hands, squeeze your arm bones, and push the earth away to puff up that space between your shoulder blades. Again, soften down in between, kind of flossing in the shoulders. Press down, puff up the space. Once more, let it come down, soften, maybe even soften the elbows a little. Press down to puff up that space. And then find just like a neutrality, right? Drawing your arm bones back, your crown forward. And it's from that supported space. You want to flood your weight into your left hand, peel your right arm open, maybe just the elbow, maybe the fingers to the sky. And then just bring it back down. Yeah, that's all we need from that. Pour your weight to the right, peel your left arm open, and back down. Maybe once more. Peeling the right arm open, make sure the left shoulder is engaged. Yeah. And back down. Peel open the left. And back down. Going back to the stable place, we'll begin to extend the right leg back and find the same length of your spine, and it just gets even longer, yeah, through your back leg. So the right heel draws back, your right thigh presses up to the ceiling, the crown forward. Now just kind of note that stability of your three limbs, yeah, your arms and the left leg, as you lift your right leg off the earth. Begin to sweep your right toes, your right heel over to the left, and maybe look toward your toes. You could even find a little bit of like a C curve in your spine. And then with your next inhale, draw your right knee as high as you can toward your right shoulder. Everything else stays steady. Exhale, sweep back and to the left, peek toward your toes. Inhale, right knee, right shoulder, and then step outside of your right hand. And let yourself really pour into the lunge at first. Let your hips get low. Draw your heart forward like a cobra pose. Your collarbones and your arm bones draw back and wide. And then with an exhale, pull back through your hip creases to extend this right leg any amount. Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale, lunge forward. Opening through the front body. Exhale, draw back, opening through the back body. And we're going to stay a couple breaths here. You can walk your hands back under your shoulders. I find that a little more easeful. Find at least one breath where you can really find a moment of ease. Softening over the leg. Inside the leg, really. Then walk yourself forward again. Plant this left hand. And just to be sure, sometimes I like to take my right fingers just to like the front of the left arm bone and kind of draw it back. And you'll feel a little engagement up under the scapula. Yeah, feel that little lat engagement. Press down through your left hand and peel the right arm open. Yes, we've been here before. Press down, open up. Then with an exhale, reach your right arm toward the back of the mat. Let your lunge settle a little bit more. Yeah, but stay up out of the left shoulder. Inhale, reach tall, maybe even your arm overhead. Exhale, sweep back, lunging low. Inhale, reach up. One more time, lunging low, reach back. Inhale, back through center, hands to the earth. Root both hands, tuck your toes behind you and lift your hips. Just like a plank and a lunge at the same time. So super engaged, hug into center, press through your hands, and then step, not scrape your right foot back. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. It's the first time here. You might feel a little different one side on the other. So just check in. Again, see what it is to be here, to exist in this body today. Feel your hands root down, your arm bones hug in, but that little bit of melt of the heart toward the earth. Bend your knees to draw back a little further, take more space. And then lift your hips, lift your belly, wave forward toward plank. Feel free to bring the knees down, but we're finding again that pressing down through your hands to puff up in between, but not getting into the space of lifting the hips, right? We're not over rounding, we want to keep some length. So crown forward, heel back. And then lower yourself slow and steady, again, maybe knees first, all the way down to the earth. Your forehead is on the earth, mine isn't, so I can talk to you. Draw your elbows back, your thumbs about at the nipple line. Really press down through your feet, engage through your legs. That's a big part of the support that this openness comes from. Engage through your belly, draw navel to spine. From there, lift your heart forward, Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Soften with your exhale. Inhale, wave your heart forward, Cobra pose. Exhale to soften. Walk your hands a little bit wider, maybe wider than the mat, and tent your hands so just the fingertips are on the floor. Same engagement through the legs, through the belly. Just roll your right shoulder back, a little twisting. Maybe you're peeking toward your right toes, and then bring it back down through center. Roll your left shoulder back, your left ribs back, maybe peek toward your left toes, and then let it come back down through center. And then one time through the center, engage your legs, your belly, lift your heart forward. Draw your arm bones back. Energetically draw your elbows back, heart forward. And then soften back down to the earth. Draw your hands back in along your ribs, engage through your belly, your legs. Press the earth away back to a tabletop shape. And adjust as you need to find your way here. Press your left heel back now. Find that same spaciousness along the back line of the body, the length that's here. Steadiness in your three limbs as you lift your left toes off the earth. Begin to draw your left toes over to the right, maybe peeking toward your left toes. Next, inhale, draw left knee toward your left shoulder. Exhale, extend back and over to the right. Inhale, left shoulder to step outside your left hand. And again, we'll let it get lungy. I don't know why that term is most natural to me. Really settling into the lunge, but still open through the heart space. And then use an exhale to drop back through your hips, extending your left leg any amount. Once more, inhale, draw forward. Exhale, drop back. And stay a couple breaths here. This variation of Ardha Hanumanasana. Soften, at least for a breath. Yeah, feel yourself just folding in. And then come back through our low lunge, Ardha Anjaneyasana. Plant your right hand. And again, just that little reminder with your right fingertips to draw back through the right arm bone, engaging underneath the scapula. Press down through your right hand to open the left arm to the sky. Reach your left arm back, let your hips sink heavy. Inhale, reach up, maybe reach overhead along your ear. Exhale, reach back, hips heavy. Inhale, reach up, hug through your legs, and bring both hands down to the earth. Tuck your toes, lift your back knee. Press down to step back, downward facing Adho Mukha Svanasana. Full body breath in and breath out. Lift through your heels, through your belly, wave forward toward plank. Bring your knees down to walk your hands forward. Bring your elbows down. And we're finding a forearm plank. So you can stay here, knees on the earth, or lift your knees. Again, pressing through your hands to sort of puff up that space between your shoulder blades, but not so much that your hips lift. Yeah, keep the length. Inhale here, keep that length. Send both heels over to the right. Inhale back through center. Exhale, both heels over to the left. Inhale back through center. Exhale, bring your hips down to the earth. But the engagement is still there. You're hugging in and back through your legs, down through your forearms in our Sphinx pose. Take a breath in. Stay here with the exhale. Walk your right elbow back, out an inch, and angle your right hand in like 45-ish degrees. Bend your right knee. You're kind of hugging in your right heel toward your seat and then pressing up your right heel toward the sky. So there's a lot of engagement here. Press down through the right hand to take the weight out of your left arm and reach your left arm back toward your right heel. And you might just be reaching it there, yeah. Or you might be capturing your right ankle. Either way, find length. Open up. Find an exhale here. And then release back to the earth. Bring both elbows wide for a moment, your forehead down. Just a cleansing breath to the back of the heart space. Back of the lungs, and then exhale from there. We'll come back up for the other side, elbows in. Your Sphinx pose. Find this for a breath. Really open up, draw navel to spine, your heart forward. And then walk your left elbow out an inch or two to bring your left hand across toward your right wrist. Draw up through your belly and forward through the heart. Bend your left knee, left heel draws in and then up toward the ceiling. Keep that engagement. Press down through your left arm to sweep your right arm back. The thumb is down. You could stay here just squeezing in and finding length through the heart forward, or hold on to your left ankle. But same thing, squeeze in and find length through the heart forward. Big breath. Stay with your exhale. Release, hands to the earth. As you lower down, draw your hands back down by your ribs to press the earth away. Tabletop. Tuck your toes to downward facing dog. Full body breath in. Breath out, soften in the heart space. Hug in and down through both arms. Reach your right leg back and up. So again, the stability of the three limbs is here. Bend your knee, stack your hip to really pull your right heel over to the right while your right heel over to the left while your right hand stays rooted. With an inhale, lift your hips, right knee toward your right shoulder, high as you can. Exhale, reach back, restack your hip over to the left. Inhale, right knee, right shoulder to step outside your hand. Press into your left hand. Again, use your right fingertips to just check that your left arm bone is plugged in, your shoulder engaged, and then peel your right arm open. This time, turning all 10 toes to the right, with the same feeling of reach your right arm toward the back of the mat. Drop your hips any amount. Yeah, stretch through the left side. Stay engaged through the left shoulder. Reach your hips tall, right arm overhead. Big stretch through the right side. Exhale, reach to the back of the mat. Let your hips get low. Inhale, reach up. One more time, reach back. Let your hips get low. Inhale, reach up. Bring it all the way back to the front of the mat. Root both hands. I said root both hands, but actually I want to walk this right foot a little bit more in, so it's in between your hands, so that I can press down and rise. Anjaneyasana, a high crescent lunge. Hug in and down through your legs, again, to find this spaciousness up top. Hug your palms toward each other. Maybe they press together. Maybe they're just hugging in. And then bend your elbows toward the ceiling. And really reach your elbows up as your thumbs point toward the nape of your neck. Press down through your right foot. Reach up through your elbows, up through the heart. Maybe lean it back that little bit. A breath in. As you exhale, release your hands, hinge forward, step forward through a chair pose, sweeping your arms back. Press into the earth to stand tall, reach tall. Then bring your arms out wide like a T. I'm going to turn toward you just so you can see what's happening in the arms. Your right thumb is going to point up, and then just keep rolling your right hand toward the ceiling. Externally rotate as much as feels easeful. And then look toward your left hand. Left thumb is going to turn down. Internally rotate. Then reach your right arm up toward the ceiling. Your left hand down behind you. Then bend your elbows. Not resting your hands on your back. Yeah, trying to keep your hands away from your back. Elbows pull away from each other. Breath in. Breath out. Unwind. Bring hands to heart center. Stay here, a breath. Press your palms together. Breathe to the back of your lungs. Exhale, soften. And then to the other side. Open both arms out wide. This time, left thumb turns up and open, external rotation. Right thumb turns down, internal rotation. And your left arm goes up, your right hand down behind you. Bend both elbows, keeping your hands away from your back. Breathe your elbows away from each other. Stay with the exhale. Unwind your arms, hands to heart center. Breathe in. Exhale, soften. Both arms to the sky, reach tall. Exhale, pour forward, fold Uttanasana. Bend your knees, root your hands to the earth, step back toward plank. Again, knees up or down. Press into the earth, feel buoyant at the back. Lower down. One chance today for chaturanga, yeah, or lower all the way to the earth. Cobra or upward facing dog. Either way, press your hands into the earth, widen your collarbones, open from the heart space, lengthen breath in. Stay with your exhale. We're here, one extra inhale, really open up. Then press into the earth, come back through plank or table to downward facing dog. Last little stretch or last little effort here. Breath in. Breath out. press into the earth. Draw your left leg back. Bend your knees, stack your hip. Draw your left heel over the left, but the left shoulder stays steady. Exhale, left knee, left shoulder. Draw back once more, pulling your left heel over to the right. Left knee, left shoulder, step outside your hand. So we're in this really strong planky lunge, yeah, hugging in. And then nudge your right arm, engaging in your shoulder. And then open the left arm to the sky. Big breath across your wingspan. Keep that openness as you turn all your toes to the left. Kind of rolling your left ribs back. Then reach your left fingers to the back of the mat. Dropping your hips a little or a lot, because you got to get back up. Press through your right hand, open up, left arm up or overhead. Exhale, reach back, settle your hips low. Inhale up. One more time, reach to the back of the mat, sink your hips. Inhale up, forward, both hands to the earth. Then nudge your left foot, kind of heel toe it toward the center of the mat. Press down to rise, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge here. Hug in and down through the left foot, up through your right thigh. Reach your thumbs tall to lift the back of your waist. And then hug your palms toward each other, maybe pressing them into each other. Bend your elbows toward the sky, thumbs toward the nape of your neck. Lift through your elbows, lift through the heart. Maybe lean it back. Stay for a breath in, reaching through your elbows. Breath out, lunge forward. Hands sweep back as you step forward, chair pose, Utkatasana. Press through your feet, reach tall. Same thing, press your palms together. Lift your elbows. Lean it up and maybe a little bit back for a breath in. Breath out. Reach tall. Pour forward, fold. Root your hands. Bend your knees to step back. Downward facing dog. Full body breath in. Breath out. Right knee toward your right wrist, toward a pigeon pose. Extending your left leg back behind you. And always have the option to be in a Swastikasana instead. Bend both knees, your left knee kind of snug into your right foot. But as you're here, we're staying up for a minute, yeah, either way. Engage through the back leg. Press down through your right shin. Use an inhale to draw open through the heart space. And then as you exhale, hinge forward, tent your hands so that your fingertips are on the earth. We're just coming down like halfway. And then as you inhale, lift through your belly, roll your right shoulder back, peek toward your toes. Exhale, come back down through center, halfway. Navel to spine, roll your left shoulder back, little twist. Exhale, soften halfway. Inhale, roll it back up. Last chance to really open up here. If you're feeling really open across your hips, you can always bend the left knee, curling your heel toward your head. But then let that go. And bring it forward. You can bring a block under your elbows or a block under your forehead to rest on. But find a way to rest down here. So now we're again sinking the heart space between the shoulders. Yeah, you don't have to hold yourself up quite so much. You might let your shoulders go wide so you've got even more space to sink down. And just find 2 breaths that allow for a letting go. As you're ready, walk your hands back in under your shoulders-ish. Re-engage, really press down through your right shin. See if you might hover your hands off the earth, or maybe even reach them out to the side or up along your ears. Just this moment of full body awareness and engagement. And then bring it back down, hands to the earth. Tuck your toes, lift through center. Step back, downward facing dog. The last one for this practice together. So let yourself really be here a couple breaths. And then as you're ready, lifting through the center, drawing your left knee toward your left wrist for that Ardha Kapotasana, half pigeon. Really reach your right toes back, or if you're bending the right leg and finding the Swastikasana, settle your right hip down toward the earth. Either way, press through your left shin to open up here. Tent your fingers, hinge forward halfway. Stay open across the collarbones, not collapsing and rounding. Lift from your belly, roll your left shoulder back, peeking toward the toes behind you. And then let it soften through center. Navel to spine, roll your right shoulder back to lift. And back down halfway. Navel to spine, roll your heart forward. And then down, walk your hands forward, finding a place to soften, finding support from the earth or blocks or cushions, whatever you can find. Find the last 2 breaths to soften whatever you can. And then walk your hands in. Let yourself be tall and supported for a moment. So pressing down through your left shin, bringing your arms out to the side. Maybe you're just testing the waters. Maybe you're reaching out. Maybe you're reaching up through your thumbs. Lift the back of your waist. And then release your hands down to the earth. Pour your weight over to the left, but just keep your left knee bent. Sweep your right leg around. And I'm looking for Gomukhasana in the legs now. So stacking, I'll just face you, stacking your knees, drawing your right heel back toward your left hip. You can sit on something. Yeah, you can sit up on a block, especially if you feel yourself rounding. Sit up on something. You can also extend this left leg forward and just cross the right thigh over the left. Yeah, that works too. Wherever you are, sit tall so that again you can bring both arms out to the side. The left thumb is rolling up and back, external rotation. The right thumb is rolling down and in. And then the left arm goes up, right arm down. Bend both elbows. This time you can rest your hands on your back, but keep drawing your elbows energetically away from each other for a breath. Gomukhasana. And then you can keep your arms here only if they feel like really easeful here as you fold forward. Otherwise, release your hands to the earth as you fold. Again, if you kept your hands here and you feel yourself like crunched up and rounded, it's not worth it. Yeah, release your hands. You want to stay open through the chest. Just 2 breaths to release here. Release what you can. Roll it back as you're ready. Just gonna switch legs as we're here. So unwinding the legs, you can shake them out a little bit if that feels good. And then the right leg is gonna go underneath, right heel to your left hip. Stack the left one on top. Again, this side might feel totally different than the other side, so check in. Really need to sit up on something, or maybe send your right leg out long. Keep the left thigh stacked on top of the right. Let's settle for a minute. Then as you're ready, bring both arms out wide. The right thumb goes up, rotate through the arm. Left thumb down, rotate in. Reach the right arm up, the left arm back, and then bend both elbows. Pulling your elbows away from each other, your fingertips toward each other. Find a breath. Breathe into your hands. Keep this mudra, this arm bind, or release it as you hinge forward. But either way, stay open across the chest. Even as you soften everything else. One more breath where you are. And then roll your way back up. Soften and release both legs out in front of you. Coming down onto your back. Again, let yourself feel supported by the earth. Feel what's underneath you, what's holding you up. And draw both knees in toward your chest. Hug in and maybe out wide, like a happy baby, sorta. Circle your hips around, kind of holding on to your shins or holding on behind your thighs, so you can find just that last little bit of movement here before stillness. Take any last movement, any last shapes that are calling you before you can be still. Whether that's in Shavasana or in a seated meditation, either way. Just finding your way toward stillness. You can always come back to movement later. But these moments of stillness, an exercise in trust, really. Trusting that you're supported, that you've done enough for now, that you are where you need to be. So trust that if just for these few moments here together, let go. I want to encourage you to stay as easeful as possible in the shape that you're in. To be here as long as you can be, to transition before the next phase of the day. But if you'd like to join me again in resonance, the sound of Om, acknowledging all that came before that holds us up, acknowledging all that will be and all that is now within and between us. You can do that laying down. You might find a hand toward the heart space and a hand toward the earth. So just feel that connection of resonance as you find again a breath in and let it go toward Om, a breath in. It's in this resonance, in this connection where we're the same. I bow to you. With gratitude, with love, as always. Thank you so much for being here, for being you. Hope to see you soon. In the meantime, be well. Be good to each other.